My goodness. Wow. That is amazing. Let's do this one more time. Who said FG? Y'all are trying to read my lips. My bad, guys. Thank y'all so much. Man, this is a brutal beginning to a show. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's do this all over again, and we'll get started here right now. Hey, Yiner, hit that intro.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey there, welcome in to another edition of Locked On Astros. This time you can hear me. Look, I don't know why everything is going crazy tonight, but it is all good. You want your money back? Well, I hope you didn't spend any money to get here because it is free and easy to listen to, and we are your only daily Astros podcast. That's right. We don't profess to be perfect. We just profess to be number one. Why? Because you, the listener, make us so. We're the most downloaded Astros podcast. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. And you can find the show at Locked On Astros on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you get your podcasts. That's right. It's free and easy to listen to. So how about those Cougars tonight? Staving off a massive comeback by the Texas Aggies. And you thought maybe the Aggies were going to steal this one and break Kelvin Sampson's heart again, and they would not have it. It appeared that the Cougars were going against more than 5 players on the court, but I digress. We won't talk about controversies or refs calling calls certain ways. We just are excited to see the Houston Cougars move on to the Sweet 16 in Dallas versus Duke University, the school of former coaching great Mike Krzyzewski. So thank y'all for tuning in. Look, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. That's right. With FanDuel today, you can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on point spreads, money lines, and more. FanDuel.com/lockedon to bet on college hoops until they cut the nets down. That's right. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm flying solo tonight. And look, there's a lot of really cool stuff to get to because, the Astros there for a second looked like the injury bug was going to continue to hit them. And I guess it really kind of has. Greg Kessinger has a hamstring injury. I'm going to talk about who I see as being a part of this roster on who's made the team. And I think it only comes down to 1 or 2 names really there is a trivia question for. And everybody pitching-wise is looking good. The relief pitchers, the starters, for the most part, Hunter Brown's looking dialed in. Spencer Arrighetti, when he gets up here, he will be ready. So we'll call him Ready Arrighetti when he's ready. So hopefully he'll come up soon. And, Loperfido, we know, was sent down to AAA. And I'm hoping to get both Loperfido and Arrighetti on the show so you guys can get to know them a little bit better. If you remember, we have interviewed both of those guys, but Joey's was the very first interview he did on a podcast after he was drafted. And then the interview with Arrighetti was a couple questions I did with TriStar, and that wasn't a very highly publicized, interview. So you guys will hopefully get to see that. Thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, and I have here, if you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're looking, I have a wheel that I've created. And of course, you can't see it because of the incandescent light in front of me. But there's a wheel with all 54 entries. I'm going to spin it one time. And if your name comes up on this, you will win 2 club tickets and a Lot C parking pass, compliments of one of our listeners. And you will get to go to the Tuesday Astros versus Space Cowboys exhibition at Minute Maid Park. So good luck to those of y'all. You have to stay for the 3rd segment. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in, and thank y'all for hanging on with me. Y'all are so gracious. Like, y'all could have totally just left. Now, some of y'all did. Some of y'all said muted. Brett, no audio, sir. Thank y'all for letting me know. And I wasn't looking at that at the time. And then Jay Roberts, I believe, texted me and he said, "Hey, dude, I don't think your mic is on." And yeah, so hey, it's all good. We should have added a starter. Yes, that is what everybody's saying. But let's look right now at who I believe has made the team. And there's really only a couple of question marks. Okay. Starting pitcher wise, I think we'll eventually go with the 6-man rotation, but because Justin Verlander's on the 15-day IL right now, I think they'll go with the 5-man. And I think they're going to go with Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, Hunter Brown, JP France, and Ronel Blanco. Those are going to be your 5. I think Ronel Blanco easily wins over Bielak, but Bielak is on the team, so sometimes it be like that. I see all the we get a lot of comments on Lance McCullers because he's oft injured. McCullers and Garcia, I'm assuming, will garner a 60-day IL stint, which means they can have 2 people take a roster spot. And I have one of my relief pitchers who's not on the 40-man that I think makes the roster. And it will be because of one of the 2 60-day IL spots. So my relief pitchers are Josh Hader, Ryan Presley, Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero, Seth Martinez, Parker Mashinsky, Brandon Bielak, and Taylor Scott, a non-roster invitee. I think he gets on because of one of those 60-day IL stints. Abreu is only for the first 2 games, so Thursday and Friday's game, and then he's back. And hey, he's back in time to face the Rangers. That's really cool. So those are my 13 starting pitcher and relief pitchers. Now here are my this is basically the 9 starters: Altuve, Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Abreu, Diaz, McCormick, Pena, Myers. And then we have on the bench Dubon, Caratini, John Singleton, and Corey Julks. And I will explain to you why John Singleton is on this team and not someone like Loperfido here in a second. All right, this ad is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV. Amazon Fire TV is something that you guys need to know a little bit about because it's a really cool option that they have. It's your destination for all sports, highlights, in-depth analysis, and so much more. So all you need is a Fire Stick or a smart TV. You can get opening weekend baseball, college basketball tournament. I mean, you get it and watch the UH Cougars play. I mean, there's so much out there. All your favorite sports brands. I mean, videos from pro leagues to college leagues, from highlights, keep you more up to date with the latest on the NBA, MLB, NHL, so much more. So check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. You can even, eventually you'll be able to get all the Locked On shows through Fire TV. And if you want to check this out, you'll want to trust me on this, go to Amazon.com/Fire TV. And just know that this episode is that we want you to know about Locked On Sports Today, Locked On Sports Today 24/7. If you're watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day, have you turned down the volume while, with all the shouting? We'll make the switch today to Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. That's right. Locked On Sports Today brings you a can't-miss analysis, opinions, news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every single day. All right. So, yes, Joey Loperfido is going down to AAA mainly because he needs to have everyday at-bats. And some people are opining, well, maybe what they should do is just train him at first base for all this season and get him ready to take over next season because we have Mr. Jose Abreu through 2025. I don't think it's that easy. I don't know that Loperfido is your automatic first baseman, but Loperfido actually projects better in the outfield than he does in the infield. And I think he will garner one of the outfield spots depending on the fate of some of the people that we currently have on this roster. Some side news about a position player. Alex Bregman did tell reporters that he has given his agent, Scott Boras, permission to talk with the Astros during the season should they want to engage in talks of an extension and him staying here in Houston long term. So there is that little hope that we have if we are not wanting to lose Bregman. And I think looking at Bregman would be definitely wise for this team, just because, I mean, he's been here his whole career, y'all. And he's like one of the only players to ever go to 7 straight ALCS, like in the first 7 years of his career, And so I think for him, it would be a really good thing. And I think this town wants to see him here. It is not easy to replace a third baseman, but you do have some internal options that eventually we may have to explore more, but we'll have to see. But what do you guys think? I sat here and I named players that I think should be on this roster. And I think the only real battle is the fact that you have Taylor Scott, Bennett Sousa. Actually, I have Taylor Scott and Bennett Sousa as kind of just make it or break it. The problem is if you put someone on the 40-man that's not on the 40-man and you replace them with a 60-day IL person, I think when the person comes back from the IL, you have to roster that person. So we'll have to see how they're going to turn that roster spot around for that. Bregman did see how Boris' clients fared recently, and so he's going to want his agent to get him as much as possible. And look, the Houston Astros, I think, are in a position to offer him a pretty decent salary. But the question then remains is, what about Kyle Tucker? What about Framber Valdez? What about these other guys? I don't have a lot of quotes from, I only have like one quote. This is like quote light this week for Joe Espada. I only have a couple quotes from him. Let's go ahead and kick the Yo Joe segment off. All right, Yo Joe is brought to you by yours truly. Joe Espada did say as camp was ending, our goal is always to build these players so when you leave Florida, everyone is healthy. When it comes to performance, everyone got their at-bats, and we're in a really good spot. But I wish we would be leaving here 100% healthy as a club. And he said everything, though, is clicking at the right time. And as you saw today, actually Saturday, yesterday, because today's Sunday, if you're listening on Monday, it was 2 days ago, Spencer Arrighetti logged 4 scoreless frames, and his full line was 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 Ks. That was last Saturday. And so Spencer Arrighetti, Hunter Brown, looked good out on the mound today. He was dealing. And so the pitchers, the younger guys are looking really, really good. And I'm excited to see what it is that they're going to do this year. Matthew is saying, I think the start of the season is going to be rough pitching wise. They need to get healthy. Yeah, they do. It might be rough pitching wise, but if this offense is hitting the way it knows how to hit, the Yankees aren't exactly juggernauts in the pitching department. They don't even have their best pitcher. So that series maybe it's a little false, because then you go right from that to the Braves. I mean, your first 3 series are not, I mean, it's not going to be easy. You're right, coming out of the blocks. But I think you get the Yankees first, and while the Yankees may be motivated, they may not be as tough of an opponent pitching wise. Okay, so you go the Yankees, you go the Blue Jays. I don't know why I thought it was the Braves. I think I've said the Braves more than once, and I do apologize for getting that wrong. But it's the Yankees for 4. It's the Blue Jays for 3. They have an off day on April 4th. And then they have the Rangers, the Royals, the Rangers again. Wow, back-to-back almost. Braves. Then it gets kind of easy with the Nationals. The Rockies are in there, and the Cubs. April's not all bad, but we do have some juggernauts in there. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? What's up, Just Fans Podcast? How y'all doing? Rangers. Why are the Rangers in shambles right now? Thank you, man. I appreciate Garrett. I appreciate this. But look, here's the deal. At the end of the day, we have got to make sure that we are paying attention to just what is going on. JV's out for 15-day IL. We've got McCullers and Garcia coming back mid-season. Thank God that Jake Myers' X-ray came back negative. If you haven't heard, Jake Myers got hit on the hand by a pitch the other day. They did X-rays. They were negative. That's a good thing in the medical world. And so he is full steam ahead. I'm excited about the 2 exhibition games. I will be there opening day. If you're going to be there opening day, look for me. I'll be looking for y'all. I'm going to be doing some fan interviews. I got some brand new Rode mics that I'll be using, trying to boost the technology when we go out in public. So that should be fun. And pretty soon we should be announcing some live dates. And don't forget to stick around for the 3rd segment. We have a wheel here for those of y'all that entered into the giveaway for the tickets. We've got 2 free club tickets and a parking pass given to us from a listener for the 2nd exhibition game versus the Sugarland Space Cowboys. We don't play the Tigers in April, thank God. Why are you worried about the Tigers? I mean, they're still the Tigers. They haven't won anything yet. I wouldn't really be afraid of anybody at this point, because you know how teams have gotten hot. Other teams have really like done the bidding of, everybody's like, oh my God, they're gonna kill us, and then later on they're not a force. That very much could happen this year. So don't let the beginning of the baseball season fool you one way or another, because someone can start hot and get cold, and someone can start cold and get really hot. But let's talk about FanDuel here in our next segment. FanDuel is one of our favorite sponsors to talk about. So let's go. Well, March Madness is here, and if you were watching the University of Houston Cougars, they had a nail biter. I mean, A&M took that game into overtime with an amazing 3, and like Kelvin Sampson after the game said, they weren't just making threes; they were making difficult threes. They were scrappy. They were going for the ball. They wanted it, and you may want it too, and you may watch March Madness, and your bracket may be busted. But with FanDuel, you can bet on every tournament game. If your bracket is toast, that's fine. Whether you're betting on the big upset or the 1 seed that's still in it, like the Cougars, it's time to go dancing. Not dancing with the stars. We're talking dancing with FanDuel. It's better. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if your $5 bet wins. That's $200 that you can use on point spreads, money lines, and so much more. You can even pick who's going to win it all. We know you're going to pick the Cougs. That's right. Whose house? Coogs' house. So just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and bet on college hoops until they cut the nets down. That's right. Make sure that you go to Locked On Sports today. It's only 24/7 streaming channel. Look, are you tired of going to the big networks and hearing the shouting and hearing the come on, Skip, and just all this stuff and all these people arguing and yelling? Well, you don't have that at Locked On. Their 24/7 feed is the only one of its kind, and it's on YouTube, and it's free, and you don't miss any analysis. Because why? Because they go around the league. They get local experts like Eric and myself on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV Channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Remember, we're your team every single day. And hey, guys, I do want to remind y'all, we are still doing this fundraiser, and I'm going to be getting an actual link to the specific donation piece of the Courage to Be Foundation, and that QR code you can scan there. We're trying to raise $4,000 to go to a baseball facility being built in the Dominican Republic, and we want you guys to be a part of it. Now, I've shifted my plans getting down there. I don't think I'm going in June, but once this facility is built sometime in the summer, I am going to be going down there to be a part of the ribbon cutting ceremony. I need y'all to help us raise $4,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a specific link for that one portion of their charity. Now, you're free to give to any part of the courage to be, and just know that we wouldn't do this unless we trusted it. We even ran this through Locked On and they approved it for us. So we want you guys to be on board with that. It's to help kids, not just in the Dominican Republic. There are other ways to give. They help kids right here in Houston. They help kids in McAllen. They help kids in Honduras. Eventually they'll go to Colombia. They're trying to reach an umbrella that just reaches kids on a global, or even, all over the Western Hemisphere. So make sure you check that out. thecourage2be.org. That's 2 E's, like BEE, thecourage2be.org. Curlin would thank you. I would thank you. And I know these kids that were building this baseball facility would thank you as well. So hopefully you saw the little video I posted of the kids saying thank you. And, just make sure y'all are paying attention to that. Okay. Because it means a lot to us. And I know it's always fun to give to those who don't have. All right. So we're in a 5-man rotation for now. And I told y'all, and I put on here that I'm going to give you my record prediction for the Houston Astros. And I have a hard time making predictions. You know that. If you watch this show for any length of time, you know that I have a hard time saying, this is how many wins I think we're going to get. But I can tell you right now that FanGraphs only has the Astros winning 90 games and losing 72, a .557 winning percentage. I'm putting the Astros win total at 94. Okay. So I'm putting the Astros at 94 wins. Okay. And 68 losses. I think the Astros go 94 and 68 on the year. What do y'all think? Put your prediction in there. Show me what y'all think. How many you think the Astros are going to win? 95 wins, 92. Look, David says 92. Hey, what's up, man? Yes, sir. This hat was actually created by Job. I believe it was Job, or I can't remember if it's Job or Gatecrasher. It has the All-Star Game logo that's going to be at the All-Star Game in Texas, which I plan on being at, and just a different kind of star. Yeah, I've got all kinds of cool hats, man. I've got some more coming too. Let's see, 92 wins. We got 95 wins. 182-0. Is that including the playoffs? Good God. 96 wins. Let's see, 96 wins. Dorothy, 91. I've been saying 96 all along. Susan, you go. That's awesome. Much better home record this season. So Jay, here's the thing. This is the beauty of joining us live and on the show. If you're listening, we love our audio listeners, but you get to interact. Look, Jay is a regular, and Jay doesn't want to worry about a number of wins. He just wants to know, look, I want to be much better at home. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that said, yeah, my wife or my spouse quit going because they thought it was them and they were the reason the Astros were losing. I was like, well, when they didn't go to the game and they were still losing, did they think it was them? They're like, they didn't know what it was. 101 somehow, some way. I want them to win 100 plus again. Mr. Ramirez, I love your positivity, but I don't know. Daniel says 98 or more if the team stays healthy. Wow, some high expectations. 93. For me, I'll be real honest. I think 94 is a lofty goal. And I think it will be somewhere between 91 and 94. But that is, that's kind of a lofty goal. But let's do this. The first 3 series, what do you think their record will be? Of course, James Bell is saying, depending on pitching, but that bullpen could secure more victories as long as hitting is good. If they score early and often, then I think the Astros home record will be fine. So let's go through this. Let me see what I think the Astros record is going to be their first 3 series. Well, they got 4 against the Yankees. I'm going to be honest. I think they take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees. I really do. I think they take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees. I think they take 2. I think they take, I don't know. Blue Jays. I think they take 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays. Okay. So we got 7 games so far. So I've got 2 out of 3 and I've got 3 out of 4. And then I think we split with the Rangers 2-2. So that's 7. So, right. So that's 7 wins out of, let's see, 4, 7, and 11. So I think we go 7-4 in our first 11 games. How's that? I think 7-4. Oh, look at that, 8-2. Well, you got to grab another game in there. So let's say for you 9-2. I think they lose 4 games. Now, how many of y'all think that the Astros will go 500? And if the Astros go 500, how would that make you feel? I think if they go 500, I wouldn't be shattered. I wouldn't be upset. But I would like them to get off to a hot start. Because if they get off to a hot start, if guys like Bregman, who classically starts slow, starts hot, in the way that this, Alex says, I wouldn't be shocked. A lot of people 8-2, 9-3, 9-2. I mean, you guys, is it my positivity? Is it my positivity that bleeds out on you guys and girls, and y'all just really love it? Look, Torres tripping. Texas says good at 500. Look, let me circle back here. AJ wants to know what's the news of Jordan Montgomery's issue. I don't know. I'm telling you, the book's out on him, and I don't mean that as a Shohei Ohtani pun, but and then Mr. Middle Maniac says it wouldn't bother him to go 500. Tor Magnus says, yeah, I'd be a little upset. The Astros are just that good, the fans are saying. The Astros do have a reputation of being a team that starts slow. I wouldn't lose my marbles if they do it again. Just win opening day, please, because I'm going. That's right. Hey, dude, I'm there too. Oh, look at this. Metal Maniac says 6-5. Oh, we got to do this before time goes up. All right, so I hope you're on here. I hope you're on here. Now, look, here's the deal. And mark my words. I'm going to click the spin. It's going to be one spin. I'm going to click it, and you're going to see it, okay? Once I do it, it's going to give me someone, and I'm going to reach out to that person on the thread. If they don't contact me by 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to have to pick another winner. So here we go. Here is the wheel spinning, the wheel of destiny for the 2 tickets to the Space Cowboys game. It stopped. And it says Mario 21 HTX. Mario, you can see that right there. Hold on. See if I can get this on here on the screen. Man, I cannot get there you go. Mario 21 HTX is the winner. So Mario 21 HTX, I will let him know if he does not give me his info by 3 o'clock tomorrow, I will redraw and I'll reach out to the person. So y'all need to be hanging around 3 o'clock on YouTube to see if that message goes up. I'll put a separate post up. I'll tag him in the original post, and I'll put a separate post. We lost opening day to the White Sox last year, and I went, so this year I said, nah. Okay, you know what? Look, whether a team wins or loses when you're there, I don't think we have that much power, although I wish we thought we could. But here's the deal. 3 keys to starting fast, and I'll do this really quick. Starting off the game with runs in the first inning. Starting pitchers going at least 5 2/3 or 6 full innings, okay? And then number 3, you've got to win at home. You've got to win at home. Those are the 3 keys to starting fast. Winning at home. Starting pitchers have to go at least 6 innings, and we have to score early and often. First and second and third inning, I want to see a lot of scoring. That way we're not behind the gun. Well, hey, guys, I'm up against the clock, and yeah, because I messed up at the beginning. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Again, this is Htown Wheelhouse with Locked On Astros. Remember, come by and say hi. Y'all have a good one. We love y'all. Y'all are the best. Y'all are why we are the #1 Astros podcast on the planet. That's right, because no one does it better than you guys.